Good evening, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Jasper High School swimmer Nicole Fant has signed to swim at Tulane University down in New Orleans. Fan on why she chose the Green Wave.
I picked Tulane initially because the academic prestige of it and it being Division I definitely appealed to me. But once I went down there on my official visit about a month ago, seeing the culture of New Orleans, seeing New Orleans itself, meeting the team, meeting the coaches, that had a really big impact on me. It really just felt like home.
When did you start swimming? What age?
I started swimming, learning to swim when I was 4. It took me 3 years to learn how to swim, so I'm really surprised that I stuck with it. But I started competitive swimming when I was 7.
What are some of the things that you're going to try to improve on to make that jump to the collegiate level?
Yeah, so the big difference is definitely going to be the schedule from high school to college. You go from swimming probably 10 to 12 hours a week to swimming about 20. So that's definitely going to make my biggest improvement in terms of just the amount of training I'm doing, the intensity, and the specification based on how many more resources they have. And that's another big reason why I picked Tulane.
You mentioned the training. What's a day in the life of a swimmer, both in and out of season?
Yeah, so out of season for me right now is going to be, we're going to school and then I go to practice from like 3:30 to 5:30 and then go home. I tutor kids, so I usually tutor from 6 to 7, then head to the gym for about an hour. In season, it can get a little rough depending on like meets and stuff. Sometimes we have 3 to 4 meets a week. Those are normally after school, like 6 to 8, 6 to 9 sometimes. So that can definitely be hard to handle with your academic schedule. But it's definitely become a balance and it's definitely training me really well for college.
What are your goals for this season that you've just started?
I have really, really high hopes for this year. State didn't quite end up the same way that I was really hoping for, but I've got a really, really good opportunity to make podium in 1 or 2 events this year, and I'm really hoping that our relay can scramble up top 16.
Also this week at Jasper, Emma Pope signed an equestrian scholarship to ride at the University of Georgia. The Bulldogs are 7-time national champs and 9-time Southeastern Conference equestrian champs. Pope explains why the Bulldogs were a right fit for her.
I picked Georgia as the right pick for me because they have a very successful and they've had a long history of having a successful equestrian team. And then also they really fit my academic needs. They have both a really good business school and an agriculture department, which is what I'm looking to major in. And I also, when I visited there, it just really felt like home. It kind of had the same small town vibe as Jasper does. And so I really like that. And I really like the coaches. Coach M and Coach McKenzie both are really, really sweet people, and they really just seem like someone I wanted to spend the next 4 years with.
How did you get started in equestrian?
It's kind of been a really long road getting my start. We always had horses growing up, but they weren't the kind that you would compete on per se. So I started through the 4-H program here in Du Bois County, which really gave me my start. And then I kind of transferred to a few different horses, and I met Tommy, who is my current trainer, Tommy Sheets, and I started showing in the AQHA world, which really I kind of went through really quickly. I've only been showing AQHA for the past 2.5 years, and so that process has gone really quick, but that's kind of how I got my start.
What is an equestrian competition like? Explain how that goes.
So in college, it's a little bit different than what I do currently, but in college, the way that they have it formatted is there's 4 different events. So there's 2 English events, and then there's also 2 Western events. And then the Western event that I will compete in is called horsemanship. So it's basically you will draw a random horse. So whichever team is hosting the meet, you will ride one of their horses. And then because I'm competing for Georgia, say another girl from another team will go head to head on the same horse. And then we'll compete, we'll perform a pattern, which is given to us previously, and we're judged on how well we can kind of go with this horse and just do the correct things that the pattern says to do. And that's how we're scored.
How do you practice? How much time do you put in? Maybe now and maybe when you get to college?
Well, honestly, I couldn't even tell you how much time it is. I mean, I'm riding every single day, multiple hours a day, and then shows are usually like a week to a couple weeks long. So I'm just doing it all the time.
Congratulations to those 2 young ladies. The Pacers back at it tonight here in the holiday season. The Pistons are in town to take on the blue and gold. Pacers 9-10 to start this season. Big day in college football coming up tomorrow. IU looking for their 11th win of the season against one loss. Will host arch rival Purdue for the Old Oaken Bucket. 7 o'clock, a chilly start time for the Hoosiers and Boilers in Bloomington. Meanwhile, Notre Dame will go to the Coliseum to take on USC. That kickoff will be at 3:30. The Colts and Patriots Sunday in Foxborough. Indianapolis trying to improve on a 5-7 record. Stay tuned. We'll have more right after this.